Hello, this is J.R. Stewart, the conservative social justice warrior. And this video goes out to Sonnie. Sonnie, I had the pleasure of listening to your radio show over the weekend. And I've actually heard the show a few times. I don't listen to it on a regular basis. On the weekend, on Saturdays, if I'm riding around and I catch it on satellite radio from time to time. But when I have listened to it, I do find your comments very interesting. In the interest of full disclosure, I don't know Sonnie. She doesn't know me. We don't run in the same circles. So I can honestly say that since I have not watched or listened to very many episodes of your show, the few times that I have heard it, I even question whether that is enough of a sampling to form the opinions that I have. But I can only base it on the information that I have available to me. So with that being said, I'm going to jump right into it. So I've always thought that you were an interesting kind of black conservative, if that's what you are. I'm not sure if that's what you claim to be, but it seems like that's what you're representing yourself as. So I'm just going to assume that you're a black Republican conservative, or at least a black conservative, even if you're not a Republican. Because the reason I say that is because some of the things you say about the Republican Party make me wonder. And this weekend really made me wonder. So I would like to take on some of the comments. And before I get started, let me say that your comments and your style are very similar to some of those people that I call closet Republicans. You may refer to them as rhinos, certainly a never Trumper, but it's people who are Republicans, or at least claim to be, or conservatives, but like Ana Navarro, they never have anything good to say about the Republican Party. It's always a criticism somehow in there, under the umbrella or the guise of, I'm trying to help. It's like those people who tell Trump, if you want to win, don't insult Joe Biden, don't insult Kamala Harris, don't insult the Obamas, don't respond to their attacks. Do a Romney, take the high road. Do a George Bush, take the high road. Do what Republicans normally do, wimp out and take the high road and lose. So this is the advice that the pundits give Trump, and I'm so glad, so delighted that he does not listen to them. But before I get off on a tangent, let me get back on the main road here. This is about you and your comments. So here's a comment that you made over the weekend that caught my attention. You said that you were done with black conservatives. You didn't say black Republicans. You said you were done with black conservatives. And the reason you were done with us is because you said we have to assimilate the white Republican message in order to get votes, to get money, and get support from white Republicans. You made it seem, and I've heard this so many times during my lifetime, I have friends now that I've known over 2 decades who still think that the things that I believe, I can't truly believe them. As a black man, you can't truly believe this. You can't truly be a Republican. You're really only saying these things, JR, because you want to shock us. This is for shock value. We know deep down that you're one of us, JR. I've known you too long. Still, what do you say to a person when you're telling them the truth about what you believe, but because you're black, see, you can't possibly believe what you believe. So you said you were done with black conservatives because we have to assimilate, and I know you chose that word carefully, on purpose. We have to assimilate the white Republican message. You said that we can't speak to the black issues. So I'm ready to take that on, not just you, Sonnie, because other people have made the same comment about black conservatives, that we're getting paid, we don't believe what we believe. I've heard people say things about Candace. Well, she didn't graduate from college, JR. Okay, and so what? She's one of the most intelligent, articulate women that I've ever encountered. She's almost a messenger from God. Well, JR, she was on the morning show or whatever that show is with Charlemagne the God, and she didn't know anything about global warming. So what? I know about global warming. I know about the global the climate change. I know how you fudge the numbers to make your point. I understand this. 'Cause I've been dealing with the left for all my adult life. I know their tactics. I know what they do. I see through it all. And so when you guys want to credit someone and discredit them at the same time, that's what you do. Oh yeah, JR, she seems to be a nice person, but butt monkey comes in. So, but I know that you can't use the truth to win your arguments because the truth is not on your side. The truth is on our side. So Candace may not know anything because, as she said, I think I went back and listened to the interview, that she just hadn't studied the issue enough, but I have. I know you fudged the numbers to try to make a case for global warming. And when that fell through, you simply changed the goalpost, moved it, and now it's climate change. Well, the climate is supposed to change. It's called weather. So anyway, back to you, Sonnie. You're done with black conservatives because we have to assimilate the white Republican message. You said we can't speak to the black issues, and that's the problem. Oh, well, if you want to bring black people into the tent, black men especially, you need to be able to speak to the black issues. And you can't because your hands are tied because you assimilated that white message from the Republicans, and they're not going to give you money or support or votes if you don't regurgitate your word, although I've used the regurgitate word myself too, so it's our word, so we have something in common. That's one thing. And so we have to regurgitate the white Republican message in order to get paid, to get support, to get votes, to pull that lever or punch a Chad in our case. We don't get the dinner Chads or the hanging Chads. We have to punch ours all the way through. That's a little bit of a joke in case you didn't get it. So I'm ready to take on this assertion that we can't speak to the black message. So here we go. The black message is black people with kids who live in the inner city, whose kids are stuck in failing schools I wouldn't send my 3 dogs to unless I wanted to punish them, have their kids stuck in these schools. Republicans, black conservatives, the white Republicans, here is our message. It's not white or black for us. This is what you people don't understand. When I say you people, son, I do mean you and the left. Here's what y'all don't understand. It's not a color thing for us. We truly believe the schools are terrible. We would not stick our kids in these schools. We don't want other parents to have to stick their kids in these schools. This is not a white or black message. This is just a message. The reason black conservatives can adopt this message is because we understand that we wouldn't stick our kids in these schools. We understand that other people would not stick their kids in these schools. Black people would love nothing more to get their kids out of these schools, move to the suburbs that are run by Republicans, to give their kids a chance for a better education if they could. Do you understand that, what I'm saying, Sonny? We're not assimilating the message of school choice, of vouchers, of charter schools, because this is a white Republican message. We've assimilated that message because that's what we believe. We believe this, Sonny. Black conservatives, such as myself, we believe this. We're not just talking. Have we done a good job of communicating that to black people? No, we haven't. No, we haven't. Part of the reason is most Republicans, those white Republicans that you say we assimilated their message, most of them are punks. Most of them are scared. They've been punked out by the left. Because if they speak up and say something, they get Bill O'Reilly. They have people contacting the HR department, complaining against them. They lose their jobs. White Republicans are walking around scared. I talk to them all the time. People are losing their jobs simply because they say all lives matter. Now that's become a racial issue. If you're not willing to toe the Black Lives Matter water, toe their line, you can lose your job. Issue number 2, black issue. Oh, and by the way, Sonny, and I know you know this because you're a very intelligent person. You're like Candace. You're one of the most intelligent women that I've encountered. You're well-spoken, great diction. I admire you. I look up to you. And maybe one day, if I ever get a chance to meet you, I would like to get to know you. Maybe even one day be able to call you friend. That's how much respect and admiration I have for you. But on this particular topic, you're wrong. Most black people want better schools for their kids. Most black people are in favor of charter schools, of vouchers, school choice. The Democrat message, which you think that we should somehow, you think is the black message, is not a message that resonates with black people. I'm not sure why silly black people vote for that party. Well, actually I am, but it's just I don't have time to get into it in this video. I'll cover that in other videos. But the Democratic Party is not going to give black people what they want. But yet black people vote for them. So when you say that the black message, that we have to somehow adopt the black message that resonates with black people, we have, Sonnie. That's exactly what we've done. The Democratic Party is the party you should be preaching to, not us, at least as far as education is concerned. Next issue, sentencing reform. I've been hearing about the unfairness of the Clinton crime bill and the sentencing mandates since it was signed. And then when we got the black president and Joe Biden, the architect of the crime bill, what did they do about it? They did nothing. Black people were still crying about it. But basically, the message from Barack Hussein Obama was shut the hell up. You folks don't understand. I can't do anything for you. I don't want to be labeled a black president. I have to be the president for everybody. Those were not his exact words, but that's the gist of what he was saying. You know that and I know that. Shut the hell up and stop complaining. That's pretty much what he told the presidents of the HBCUs and chancellors. Shut the hell up and stop complaining. You guys don't understand. My white liberal, socialist, progressive, Marxist slave masters have told me that I need to cut funding for the schools, your schools. Why? To send a message. Because some of y'all not doing a good enough job indoctrinating the black kids against Republicans. Let this be a warning to you. When he cut funding for the DC voucher program to let a few inner city black kids go to a private school, same school he sent his kids to when he was the president. But the first thing you do is to cut that voucher program that was only costing a few million, I think $10 or $15 million a year. When you have a $4 trillion federal budget, that's nothing. But did nothing about sentencing reform. Nothing. So that should be our message? Because black people sure voted for Barack Obama. You said if we want to attract black people, we have to speak the black language, adopt the black message. Well, evidently, keeping your kids in felon schools, imprison millions of black people over petty drug charges must be the message that resonates with black people, because black people vote for the Democrat Party. Opening the floodgates on immigration to let low-skilled workers come into America to compete for low-skilled jobs that black men could be filling is a message that should resonate with black people. Fixing the school system, providing competition, should resonate with the black people. The fact that the racist president, Donald J. Trump, who will go down in history as being the greatest president ever, had to do something about it when the black president did nothing, should resonate with black people. Doing something about immigration should resonate with black people. Donald J. Trump also promised to take on and do something about the wars. He said he will defeat ISIS in Iraq in less than a year. You know how many pundits said that was crazy? Even Barack Hussein Obama and all the Democrats said that was crazy, nonsense. But he did it. He said he would take on China and bring back manufacturing jobs to America. Manufacturing jobs that black men will need to be employed, to work, to take care of their families. That's a message that should resonate with black people. But we saw the abysmal record of Obama and Biden for 8 years. This record was so pitiful that we had to invent a new term. You see, because throughout our history, whenever there's been a depression or a recession, the country has always bounced back, roaring. Did the economy bounce back under Obama? Not even a whimper. We had to invent a new word called a jobless recovery. A jobless recovery. And when a black man stood up and asked Obama about these manufacturing jobs, you know what his answer was? Oh, well, you know, some of these jobs are not coming back. This is the new norm. We have to accept that some of these jobs are not coming back. And then later on, when he's like, well, Trump promised to bring back manufacturing jobs. Well, how are you going to do that? You going to raise your magic wand and just bring them back? Yes, Barack Hussein Obama, that's exactly what happened. Wizard Trump took out his wand, waved it, and somehow brought back 500,000 manufacturing jobs to America. But see, that's the difference, though. When a person says they believe in America, putting America first, fighting every day, abroad and domestically, for this country, for steel jobs, for manufacturing. That's what happens when you have a president who leads, Barack Hussein Obama. And then, Sonnie, you somehow believe that what? We should adopt the Obama message? Pessimistic, dark? Well, these jobs ain't coming back. You just got to accept this is the new norm. Automation is putting people out of work. We just got to retrain people. How about you go fight for their damn job? How about you do the same thing Trump did when you were in office? And back to those sentencing guidelines. Here's the Democrat message. Oh, yeah, I'm the architect of that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it. Now that I want your vote. But when I was in office for 8 years, at no point did I walk over to my boss, tap him on the shoulder, say, hey, boss, that Clinton crime bill, I helped write that. And looking back, it has been very disastrous for black people. It's been very bad. You think maybe, just maybe, we can get together and do something about that? I'd like to be able to fix my mistakes. No, he didn't do that. He didn't have that conversation. And black people accepted the fact that Obama did nothing about their concerns. But you say that we, Republicans, are not listening to black people. That somehow we're not speaking their language, which we don't. We don't do that very well. The marketing piece of it, we don't. But our message is a message that should resonate with black people. When it comes to jobs, when it comes to citizen reform, when it comes to funding the HBCUs, Obama was okay with the chancellors and presidents coming to Washington every year, on their knees, begging. Hell, they've been on their damn knees so long they got calluses on their kneecaps. You think you're standing up, but you're actually on your knees kneeling. Because that's how Democrats want you, on your knees begging them for money and funding every goddamn year. And as soon as Trump sort of realized what was going on, like, hey, well, these people were here last year, what's going on? I see them here again this year. Oh, yes, sir, they have to come every year to beg for money for their schools. Trump met with them, listened to their concerns. He said, okay, you know what? I got you. Son-in-law Jared, come here, son. Get with Tim Scott, get with the black leaders, rustle up, arm squeeze, get support, but we need to get this fixed. And guess what? They did. Now they got 10 years of funding. They don't have to come back every year begging on their knees. They can plan things year 2, year 3, year 7. Long-term projects now they can plan because they have a commitment. And they took the white president, the racist one, to do something about it. So, Sonnie, I ask you, exactly what message, what Republican message is not that should be resonating with black folks that's not? What are we not saying? I know we have problems with the way we package the message. the way we market the message. I understand that. We've allowed Democrats to invade schools named after white Republicans. Spelman, Morehouse, Howard, Fisk, some others. We've allowed the left to indoctrinate our college kids, fill their brains and plant upon them how Republicans are bad. That was our fault. I admit that Hoover was not a good president, was not a good leader of the Republican Party. He should have never let black support slip away to FDR, from Republican to Democrat, and then solidified and sealed off by Lyndon Baines Johnson with his war on poverty. The black man should have never walked out of the home, should have never walked away from his wife, his woman, and his children. So we've made some mistakes as a party. I understand that. I say this to my Republican counterparts all the time. We need more Donald J. Trump Republicans to stand up to the left. We have a message that's on the right side of God. We have the message that should resonate with black people. The reason it doesn't is because we're losing the marketing war. Just about every comedian out there has some negative to say against Republicans and against Trump. All the late night shows, all the Hollywood entertainment folks, all the news agencies for the most part, even Fox. People say, well, Jerry, y'all have Fox. No, we don't. Fox has Juan Williams and Shepard Smith and Chris Wallace. Got a ton of liberals stuck over there in Fox. We have a message of the strength in the family. We say we're the party of strong families, keeping families together. We want children to grow up in a household with a mother and a father. Sonnie, once again, how is that not a black message? How many of your black sisters right now are looking for a black man to have a family with and will never have it? We're now in the third generation of this war on poverty, where we push the black man out of the house, not just the black man, but mostly the black men, because the policies were perversely enforced in the inner cities. Perversely. Pushed the black man out of the household, away from his family, and he walked away. So it's not like I'm blaming it all on Democrats or the left. I'm not, and some silly Republicans. But still, we are the party that advocates to put these families back together, to do whatever we can to strengthen the family. We see how disastrous it is for young kids to grow up without a father in the household. This is a message that should resonate with black people. It's not our message is wrong. Our message is on the right side of God. This is why we all embrace it. It's not anything that we have to assimilate. Oh, well, JR, the black conservatives, y'all just assimilating this message, to get support and money and votes. I don't collect any money from anybody. Nobody sent me money. I've had offers from my YouTube channels from people who offered to send me money. I do not accept it. I don't accept money from Google or YouTube because I refuse to have my message dictated to me over money. So I don't know which black conservatives you're referring to as if we're being paid off. That we don't truly believe it, JR. You don't truly believe what you're saying. You're only doing this for money, for votes, and for support. I've heard this message, Sonnie, for over 20 years from friends, family. I'm here to tell you it's not true. So I would like for you to tell me specifically, because I listened to your show longer than I would have normally, waiting for you to really tell me what the message is that what the black message is that we're not speaking. I would like for you to continue to help me. I'm not joining your crusade, you can join my crusade, it doesn't matter. You have the bigger audience, you're the star, I'm not. So I'll join in your crusade to help convince Republicans and the Republican Party that they need to be more like Donald Trump, outspoken, not afraid to take on the left, and speak to black issues. We saw what happened to Bill O'Reilly when he tried to speak to black issues. He got run out of Hawks. He had the #1 show on cable news for many years. Just got his contract renewed. And we knew that from the rumors that people have said that Bill was a little bit of a flirt, maybe a little too touchy-feely with some of the female staffers. But Fox knew that. They knew that when they renewed his contract. But that wasn't what got Bill O'Reilly kicked out. Bill O'Reilly spoke to black issues, tried to give some useful advice to black teenagers, and CNN and MSNBC and all the alphabet news agencies rounded up every black minion they could find to speak on this, to say how Bill O'Reilly was racist for saying this. Oh, he doesn't know anything about black people. He never lived in a black community, blah, blah. How can he speak about the black okay. None of that nonsense. Anybody can speak to any issue that they see where wrongdoing is happening. And it shouldn't matter what color the person is. If it's good advice, it's good advice. So yes, Sonnie, I would like to join you in your crusade, in your campaign, to get the attention of white Republicans, to say that we need to get out of our bubble here, leave the suburbs, go into the inner cities, and start speaking to black people, to let them know that the very things that we want are things that you should want. They'll benefit you also. The very things that we believe are the things that you believe. You're God-fearing, church-going people. We're God-fearing people. We think our message is on the right side of God. And if I'm wrong, then you tell me. We advocate for strong families, better schools, job for our unskilled, so they can have a chance to build a decent life for themselves. We don't want jobs taken away from you by immigrants. You're an American citizen. You should come first before we provide a job for an immigrant. Not to say that we're against immigration. We're not. We're for legal immigration. For the people who stood in line, filled out an application, paid their fees, waited, came into the country. These are people who love the country. So of course we want people who love America to come in. People who did it the right way. If you don't like the process, then change it. But the process is what it is. As long as that's the law of the land, you just have to follow it. We're for kids getting a better education. The Asian community has the highest median income in America. Why? Well, they've done it through education, not through protesting, not through burning up their neighborhoods. You don't see them walking around saying no justice, no peace. You don't see them with signs, Asian lives matter. I'm not saying that, that's not to say that there are not some horrific things that happen to black people in the black community. There are. And we're not arguing against that. It's not like the Democrats own this. Joe Biden and Hillary coming out, on the shooting incident in Wisconsin. We feel for it, it's wrong, got something like that. As if they're the ones who own that issue. And they do their best to trap and put Republicans in the position of making a binary choice. Well, if they're against the officers in these cases, we have to be for the officers. Yeah, we do support the police forces. We don't support and condone bad policing. We can all agree on this. Tim Scott tried to write a bill and get Democrat support for a policing bill. Democrats said, well, there are 21 things in here, Scott, that we don't agree with. He said, okay, fine then. We'll give you 21 amendments to the bill. Now, this is very generous. This is more than Democrats have ever given Republicans. On bills that they sponsor. Oh, you don't agree with our bill? That's too bad. You just got to come over to our side, because we need to make this a bipartisan bill, and there's no room for compromise. It's either our way or the highway. And like Obama did with Republicans, elections have consequences. And I won. So my voice is the only voice that counts here at the table. So I'm ready to close, Sonnie, because I can talk on this for hours. Trust me, I can. And before I go too long, eat up all my disk space on my video processing server, which that's not a concern, I'm just joking. I would like to say that I'm very honest and sincere. If there really is a black message out there that you think our message on the Republican side doesn't embrace or cover, then please let me know. I'm open. I'm not here to fight against you. I am here to tell you that I think you're wrong. And I welcome the opportunity to be proven wrong. I welcome to hear about these messages. If we need to change our messaging, then I think the Republican Party would be willing to do that. I think the Trump Republicans, not the George Bush Republicans, not the Anna Navarro Republicans, not the establishment Republicans, not the backstabbing rhinos, who are really just Democrats in disguise, not the never Trumpers, I mean, none of those folks. I'm talking about the true Republican Party now, the Donald Trump Republicans. We are a party now that's willing to sit down with everyone, to include black people. And we do believe that all lives matter, to include black lives. And when Barack Obama says the least among us, even though he did nothing for the least among us, in fact, he hurt the least among us. Other than the Indians stuck on the reservation, black people are the least among us. At least black men are. And the Republican Party is willing to sit down with black men. And how do I know this? You want to know how I know, Sonny, and the rest of the people watching this video? Because I attend Republican functions all the time. You know what some of the biggest turnout and celebrations are? I live in the most conservative county, Republican conservative county in Texas. In Texas, other Republicans call us the Collin County crazies. That's how far to the right we are. And you know what's most celebrated in the most conservative county in America? Black men who have overcome their condition, who have figured out a few things in life, started making good decisions, worked very hard, got out of prison, going back to school, started a business, employing people. Those type stories. People line up and pay to hear. We celebrate those stories. Why? Because we believe in the human spirit, Sonny. This is what Republicans, this is why our message resonates. And it should resonate with black people. If they just get past the fact that they've been programmed and brainwashed to believe that we're all racist, that we don't truly believe what we're saying, that somehow we're just getting paid and we're puppets. We're assimilating the white Republican message and we're prostituting ourselves. You get past all that nonsense and come to a Republican meeting. Go to a Trump rally. Go to any county Republican and just start attending their meetings and hang out with people. You'll see how they'll open their arms and welcome you. I've gone on long enough. This is my challenge to you, Sonny. I hope you get a chance to listen to this video. I would love to be a guest on your show. I will come and defend the charges I have levied against you. And certainly, I have a little small talk show. I say small. I mean, small. And I would love for you to be a guest on it also. The Conservative Social Justice Warrior channel has a weekly show that comes on every Tuesday at 9 p.m. And it's called Let's Talk. And yes, Sonny, I would love for you to call in or stream in, do a video conference, and defend yourself. You have the entire hour to just talk and say whatever it is you want to say about the charges I have levied against you. Prove me wrong. And if you ever would like for me to come on your show, I would do the same in kind. And then, like I said at the beginning of this video, you are someone that I look up to, that I admire, and I've been very sincere. You're a very intelligent, articulate black woman, or just woman, period. I don't even have to qualify you as black. You're just a very intelligent, articulate woman who has some great ideas. I can see that the way you piece your arguments together, that they're very sound and logical, but they do have some flaws in them, some fallacies. And you are a person that I could easily see myself calling friend. So let's see if we can work on that. Thank you guys very much.